Sports 84, aka Pete Toll, back with another video. NBA 2K24 had another roster update for today, which is October 25th, 2023. Going to go over all those changes. Also, I'm going to recap my thoughts on the two NBA opening night games that happened last night. So let's jump right into it. Very minor update today for NBA 2K, just some current roster stuff here, a couple of transactions and things like that. So jumping right into it, we have the Charlotte Hornets. Right away, you'll notice that Cody Martin was designated with an injury. Looks like that knee injury that he suffered last season still is not healing correctly. No timetable for his return. So we'll see what happens with him. Bryce McGowan's also is hurt, but he's day to day. So they're kind of thin on the wing. Going into their first game, it looks like Nick Smith might play some minutes off the bench. You could always go small or big if you wanted to go with Brandon Miller at the two, a little bit behind Terry Rozier, things like that. But in other news to them, or with the Hornets, I should say, Ish Smith is back on an NBA team. He was added to the roster as point guard depth. Edmund Sumner was waived. So I don't think Sumner would have played anyway over somebody like McGowan's when he's healthy, or Nick Smith, who they're going to want to get minutes. They also have Amari Bailey on a two-way. So we'll see kind of what happens with them moving forward. I don't have high expectations, like I said yesterday in my season predictions for the Hornets, but you never know what'll happen. Next up, small change. They did update Marquise Noel to age 23. He was incorrectly age 34 in yesterday's update, so that was a minor oversight. We have another minor oversight that they missed. Victor Oladipo was in the free agent pool. He's now back on the Houston Rockets where he belongs, and he's designated with an injury. We'll see what happens. What's up, Dopey Music? Anybody else that's jumped in? What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good morning. With the free throw glitch, I'm sure they will with the patch. You can go to the Discord for NBA 2K. They pretty much tell you what has been submitted as far as like errors and bugs and stuff, and then they give you a list of whether it's been fixed or not. They don't have all of them, but they have a good fair amount of them. I haven't checked in a while, so I don't know if the free throw glitch is in there on the list, but I'll have to check it. But yeah, Victor Oladipo is here. He is there's no timetable for his return either. With the left patella repair, you just never know how long those injuries take. My personal experience, I've ruptured my patella twice. Once in high school playing basketball, along with ACL tear and some other ligaments, and then once later in my mid-20s. And both times took a long time to kind of get back and have stability in that knee, to play basketball at least. I'm not sure about anything else for him, but at least it did for me. Now, he was probably in much more elite shape, obviously, than I am because he's an NBA athlete, but you still never know with those knees and everything, ligaments around it, strengthen and everything. So hopefully Oladipo can get on the court at some point and get back to where he used to be at least a good level for himself. Last but not least, injuries-wise, Kendrick Williams was determined to be out with no timetable to return for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He has a back issue that doesn't seem to be healing correctly, so not quite sure when he's going to come back. One thing that was announced late last night, so I didn't expect 2K to get it in today, Alexis Bokashevsky was announced to be back off of the injury report. But like I said, that was late in the evening that was announced, so it's possible that 2K didn't catch that. I did miss one here. Jose Alvarado was also announced to be out 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained ankle. We'll see what happens. I noticed that a lot of people complain about the injury timeline designations for players here. I get it. 2K has to be better about the time frames fitting into the actual injury. Not quite sure why they do that, why they don't put the actual time frames. I've never really understood that, but it's a question that was asked more or less. So I don't really know the answer, unfortunately, to that. But last thing that I noticed in the update, Malcolm Brogdon does have his jersey number now correct. It's jersey number 11. He was able to get that once Kevin Knox was waived from the Portland Trailblazers. So previously he was 92. So what's up, Hoodie Pop? Any more Capitated? Saw Wemby and Sohan updated in the last one. They did a lot of updates for the for the default the what do you call it? The default heads, like the hairstyles. They did a lot of them. Like Marvin Bagley was one. There was a fair amount of them. I don't have the list right in front of me. I'd have to get it and then let you know exactly. There was a bunch. I'll say that. Because what was happening, for those that didn't know, players on the menu were appearing with a different appearance. Like Wembanyama was appearing with the more hair instead of the low cut version that he has. Now it's showing correctly. Sohan, same thing. You'll see here like the updated hair and stuff like that. Now, what happened is basically just them having to go in and default the hairstyle selection number as the actual default for the menu. So that's basically all they had to do was change that. I want to say there was maybe 15 at least players, if not a little bit more, that were updated. I had written a list down yesterday, but I just kind of briefly touched on it in my synopsis in yesterday's update. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. I figured people could just go through and kind of look for themselves, so to speak. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the update overall. Let's jump into last night's NBA action real quick. Not going to take long with it. Just wanted to kind of highlight some points. First with the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic looks like he's on a tear already. Great job by him throughout. He just kind of dissected the LA Lakers, for most of the game. He looked in MVP form right off the bat, like no question at all. That he was dominant. 29 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. So triple-double in the first game really kind of set the stage for Denver to finish with the top seed, I think. I was a little bit hesitant to put them in the finals again, but if they're going to play like this and they can improve the bench a little bit, they'll be right there. Jamal Murray did really well, 21 points, 6 assists. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope chipped in 20 points. He was very efficient. Aaron Gordon with 15 points. Michael Porter Jr. is somebody that, I don't know, man. I like Michael Porter Jr. He's just so inconsistent shooting. Like, when he's hot and gets going, he can really put you in games. But when he's not, it's going to be tough. Like, he had 12 points, 12 rebounds, so it was okay last night for what they were doing. But if he has a lot of those shooting nights where he's off, it's just really going to be questionable. Christian Brown off the bench. If you watch the Real 2K Insider video, he mentioned that Christian Brown only played all of his minutes at small forward. And so that's an interesting wrinkle, because then you have Reggie Jackson backing up both guard positions, which is not ideal. You really want to have Lakers fans are asking to trade Anthony Davis. That's funny. I'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, Reggie Jackson backing up both guard positions isn't ideal. I would love to see Julian Strother play the shooting guard position off the bench and kind of fill that role. Peyton Watson played the power forward role, so he is no longer a shooting guard or a small forward. He was strictly the backup power forward. Zeke Nnaji got the backup center minutes. Considering he just signed an extension, I expected that to pretty much happen. But yeah, it looks bleak for the Nuggets bench in the first game, but we'll see what happens going into the future. But they kind of have the Lakers' number at this point. Now let's move on to those Lakers. Obviously, LeBron James was on a minute limit after the game. Darvin Ham said that he expected LeBron to be on a minute limit throughout the season. They asked if 29 minutes would be a regular, and he said, "Yeah, I think so," which is interesting wrinkle as far as the team goes. I don't know what to make of Anthony Davis. He had 17 points in the first half, nothing in the second half. It was awful to watch him. It's just, at this point, like you can't take Anthony Davis, serious if Darvin Ham's not going to utilize him and really use him as an anchor for the offense because that's where they've been most successful. D'Angelo Russell. I don't know, man. Russell's definitely going to pick up that option next year. It'll be interesting to see if down the line, if he's not traded. He had 11.7 assists, shot 4 of 12 from the floor. Austin Reeves, his backcourt partner, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 11 from the floor. That's okay, but you still need to have more. Some issues that I saw with the Lakers is you've got to pretty much have LeBron or AD on the floor at all times. Any offensive production is going to run through them. If you don't have either one on the floor, it's pretty much, you're going to get ran off the floor. I don't like the 2-point guard lineups with Russell and Gabe Vincent. Anybody that watched Miami last year knows that Gabe Vincent's a liability on defense. Vincent was basically a negative 19. So, I don't really know what you could do there to kind of better things. Cam Reddish, yes, he had 7 points, but he doesn't have a good shot. He doesn't have the greatest offensive IQ. It's like he rushes through everything. I like Cam Reddish because I'm a Duke guy. I just don't like Cam Reddish for this team. Like everything felt rushed. Like he knew he wasn't going to get out on the court anymore. So, really, it's tough. What's up, Johnny? Oh, trade AD. Yeah. Interesting. Taurean Prince did show out. He did really well. Pretty much him and Braun were the highlights. 18 points for him on an efficient 6 for 8 from the floor, 4 for 6 from 3. Interesting that they started to play Jackson Hayes over Christian Wood. Then they brought Wood in a little bit later. But that's something to look at. Rui Hachimura struggled off the bench, basically gave them nothing. We'll see what happens. I don't think long term that you could play Cam Reddish, the 17 and a half minutes that he played. It's got to go to Max Christie. You got to utilize him the most you can. I'd rather see what you can get out of Max Christie now than worry about minutes for Cam Reddish, but that's just me. Maybe I'm a little biased with it. They also subbed out at a key time Taurean Prince for Cam Reddish, which didn't make any sense. It's just tough. Like, Rui Hachimura's matchup against Jokic worked last year in the playoffs. You could put like a smaller guy on Jokic and it throws him off a little bit. So could you play Braun or Hachimura and switch them off onto Jokic? I think you could in spurts rather than trying to play Wood or Jackson Hayes. I think that would work a little bit better. I don't like Christian Wood as a defender anyway. Jackson Hayes is kind of more just a high flyer on offense. So we'll see. The Lakers really got to make some adjustments. I just don't like Darvin Ham and his rotations. Pretty much his game management. I'm just not a fan. Maybe that's just me. Second game of the night was the Suns against the Golden State Warriors. This one was actually exciting to watch. Pretty much, it's what I expected out of Devin Booker. He led the way with 32 points. Efficient shooting, 13 of 21 for the field. They didn't have Bradley Beal in this one. Who knows, what's going on with Bradley Beal, if it's a serious back injury or they're just being precautious. Kevin Durant scored 18 points, had 10 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic had 14 and 14 points, 14 rebounds. Really, big man Sam, AD, another disappointment. That's funny. So 14 and 14 for Nurkic. He really helped out being able to pass the ball, his vision, looking for guys on the perimeter, setting screens, rolling to the basket. Was just, really instrumental in the win, as was Devin Booker. The flow of the game was interesting because Eric Gordon ended up being the first sub for Grayson Allen. Is it just me, or does Eric Gordon look like he put on a good bit of weight? He's looked heavy to me. Maybe that was just me. Drew Eubanks came in for Yusuf Nurkic. Yuta Watanabe came in for Kevin Durant. So that was pretty much kind of how the subs came in. And then Jordan Goodwin came in off the bench, basically playing the point guard spot. Okogie really did well on the wing as a defender, really kind of to mirror Stephen Curry's minutes. So that was pretty cool to see him defend him and things like that. When you look at the Warriors, you got to start with what their bench looks like. Like, as far as a normal basis, I think Chris Paul ends up coming off the bench. I just think that's a better lineup for what they want to do. Chris Paul did shoot 4 for 15, 0 for 6 from 3. He ended up with 6 rebounds, 9 assists to go with 14 points. But just his flow of the offense, I like better with the second unit. Can you imagine a second unit of Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton II, Dario Saric, and one of the starters, or if he really wanted to put Moses Moody in there, I think they would really excel. Klay Thompson struggled shooting the ball early, 6 of 18, kind of turned it around a little bit, but was only 3 for 11 from 3. Wiggins was mostly out there to guard the perimeter. He ended up with 10 points, struggled from the floor, 4 for 12. Kevon Looney got the start, 11 rebounds for him to go with 7 points. And then Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, really, I like what both of them did. They really showed flashes, improvements, both of them from last year. Kuminga out there, 12 points, 6 rebounds, but he's got to stop fouling. Too many fouls for him. Moses Moody showed that he was a bucket, 11 points in 18 minutes, 2 for 4 from 3. Saric struggled shooting the ball, but he was out there to rebound and kind of defend. 7 and 7 for him. And then Gary Payton II didn't shoot it well at all, 0 for 5 from the floor, but was able to play really key perimeter defense. It was just, the basically plays by Booker down the stretch that kind of sealed the game. He found basically Okogie in the corner for the 3. Gordon on the right wing for another 3. Steph Curry kind of did his own impression of taking over, 5-point spurt in the final minute. But at the end of the day, the Suns got the win. The Suns, if completely healthy, really, I think they're going to be my pick to make it to the finals, unless Denver improves their bench. I just think that if healthy, Phoenix has a little bit of an edge on them. The Warriors, I think, if they can get everything together, get Draymond healthy, I think they could beat Denver as well. Just going back to Denver, they got to do something down the line with that bench for the playoffs. But I think they're capable. Obviously, with Jokic and Murray, you're in pretty much every game. So we'll see. That's the wrap up for night 1. We got a lot more games tonight. I'll wrap those up tomorrow. Just kind of some news and notes on those. I may not be able to do a recap every day. It just depends on what my schedule is for work. So just all depends on where things flow as far as the mornings go and things like that. So I wanted to address something because I've had multiple people either DM me or tag me in something 2K related. Heights and weights. A lot of people have asked, well, why are the heights and weights not updated based on what the team's PR stuff basically came out? The heights and weights have to be off the official NBA team sites. If they're not on the NBA team sites official, 2K can't put them in because they go off of the league office essentially. So we have to wait on the teams to update the heights and weights officially. Sometimes they Reginaldo, I did see it in the past. I haven't seen the new update. If you put a new one out in the last couple days, yeah, with the heights and weights, they basically have to wait on the official numbers. So once teams update that, then I'll do that in just a little bit. Thank you. But once the heights and weights are updated on the official site, then 2K will update them in the game. Because I noticed that the Hawks had Miles Norris at 6'7", 220. He's 6'10" in real life, 6'9.5", so that's 6'10" in the game. But they can't update it because it's 6'7", unfortunately, on the Hawks website. They made a mistake, I believe. So that's that. I'm not sure on the wingspans because a lot of people have asked, will we get updated wingspans? Will we get updated positions? Updated positions always come in the first ratings update. That's how 2K's done it the past 4 years. So the first ratings update will get those position updates in. City jerseys, we'll have to wait until all of the teams officially unveil them. Not a leak. They have to officially unveil them. And the NBA has set certain dates for them to reveal. So until those are officially out, 2K can't put them in either. So positions in the first ratings update, which is probably going to be the second week of November. Second Thursday of November, I should say. And then the wingspans, I'm not quite sure on because I've asked about them, but I haven't gotten an answer on anything about them. But I'm curious myself just because there's a lot of wingspans that would need to be updated officially. So that's it for this update. I appreciate everybody's support on the last video that I put out yesterday. It literally got the most views I've ever gotten in a video, so I'm super happy. Thank you, everybody, for the support. I appreciate everybody sticking with me over the past couple years with the content. I promise you I'm going to be more consistent this year with more content. May not be every day because 2K doesn't update every day, but I try to get something out at least a couple times a week to keep fresh videos and stuff like that. So, I appreciate all the support. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure also while you're watching this video, you hit the like button. That really helps me in the algorithm as well. Appreciate everybody's support. If there's anything else to be updated tomorrow or Friday, I'll be sure to have another video out on that stuff. But otherwise, tomorrow will be just an NBA recap of all the games because most of the teams, will have played. So appreciate everybody watching and take care.